So let's go ahead and look at our new evidence, which I think is this just her saying, the person called us on the phone. They claimed they were a Roottrie. They told you they'd give you more of an explanation when they returned. I don't know why this has a little number on it. What are we supposed to be doing with it? But what I want to look at is the book. Where's the book? Because she said her dad wrote a book. We know this is the dad. That's Pop. It's in one of these. Clancid Trust. Don't they look exactly alike? Twins. Twins! There was something about the twins. Wait a minute. So you were a twin. I already took your picture. And your name was Eli. M? Your name was Eli M? Yeah, Eli M. And you look like you're a mechanic or something. Is mechanic in there? It is. And didn't you have something about, there was something about you helping someone with like a motorbike or something? Zach's not doing it, and after all, sister seems to be doing a good raising. His sister seems to be doing a good job raising her twins. Okay, wait, that's where I saw twins. But that doesn't mean that those guys, like, twins would be related. So we're gonna assume that they're related because they look exactly the same. So his sister did a good job raising her twins. So how many Mordens are left? Angelica Morden. But we don't know who that is. Okay, EC, that's probably the Eli C. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother. He was riding his mini bike, so he is a mechanic. Yeah. Okay, so there's Eli M. So that means that your brother is Eli, the other one. Where's your brothers? So one of your brothers... but we don't know where he is. Okay, so I feel really good about that. I feel good about this. I feel like that's correct. And then they had a kid. He had a kid, but we don't know who that is. But then allegedly there's also twins. Let's look in the picture and see. If we can identify twins. Which would be probably in like this photo. Besides you guys, where else? I don't see anyone else that looks like twins. I mean, maybe? Are these siblings and not like married? They have similar eyes and hair color. So, and smiles. I don't know. I also don't know who Bonnie is. Okay, we have Eli M, Carl, Miracle Jr., Ernie Jr., and Caroline Morden. Wait, so she's in this picture. She's in this picture. Who do we think she is in this photo? That's what she looks like there. This, maybe? I think the hair color's pretty similar. And somebody, like, we don't know who that is. Okay, so that's that. This is the guy with the glasses in the other photo, who we also don't know who that is. Right? This guy, or is that the junior? I don't know who that is. Or this, for that matter. Who is that? So Sam... could be a lady. Right? Or is that not? What do we know about Sam? It just says Sam. So it could be a lady. We don't know. I mean, it has to be one of those people because we're running out of people. These are the brothers. So that leaves one of these two people to be Sam. But who is this? Looks older. That's like way older person. So maybe because she looks so like weird and uncomfortable, maybe that means that as Sam, but we don't even know like where that would put her. We don't even have a place to put Sam. Like, who would they relate it to? Okay, I really want to find out more about her brothers. I wonder if I could search this. We already read this. Can we just search for this? I didn't just search for this. Oh my gosh. Okay, the Clancid, pronounced Clancid Trust, is a highly unusual corporate arrangement named after Clancy Edward Rootree, who was Elias's son and the Rootree Candy Company's head lawyer at the time. Due to its unique nature, it's often brought up in an online discussions about financial matters and inheritance as an oddity. The company mandates that a fixed percentage of its profits are split every quarter Amongst bank accounts representing each direct relative of Elias and Gwyneth, an account is created for each blood relative at birth and first accessible when they reach 18. The actual numbers have never been fully disclosed to the public, but due to the ever-increasing success of the company, it is a significant amount of money. The Clancid Trust is known for being essentially impossible to get around due to many checks and balances written into it. Still, there have been a few situations in which family members have tried to forcibly remove another member from the trust. Most details online are pretty vague since the matters are handled internally. The only information you discover is from a university law school, which apparently had a guest lecturer talk about the Roottrees versus RR. While looking into the Clancid Trust, you often find mentions to the 5-piece guarantee. Wait, well, hold on. The Roottrees versus RR, a student that attended the lecture about it wrote the following on a legal oddities website. From what you can tell, RR attempted unsuccessfully to remove a fellow family member from the trust. It was said that RR attempted 2 arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock. And second, they committed a significant crime against a family member. Still, due to the ironclad wording of the Clancid Trust, it was impossible to remove any direct descendant of Elias Roottrees without dissolving the trust. RR? Born out of wedlock? Would that even be represented on here? Like this? Maybe? This person? But wait, who would RR be? Maybe that's like... Maybe one of the 5 pieces are... that. Okay, let's go back and let's look at the 5-piece guarantee. The 5-piece guarantee in combination with the Clancid Trust was Elias Roottrees' attempt to ensure the Roottree Candy Company would remain a family business for eternity. In isolation, it is somewhat baffling. The yearly salary of Roottree's president is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. When the 5-piece guarantee went into effect, this was 25 cents a year. Now it's closer to $4. Combined with the Clancid Trust, however, it makes a bit more sense. Elias wanted to ensure that only his direct relatives could afford to be president, and he knew that because their passive income was tied to the profits in the company, they would have a vested interest in keeping the company as profitable as possible. Whether or not this was a smart or successful decision is widely debated both online and in person. Okay, so basically, the president never makes any money. So that means that the president will always have to be independently wealthy, meaning they will always be part of the family. I mean, it could just be some other wealthy person. You know? How do you know? No, we still don't have... Okay, so he was the 2nd president. We don't know if Carl was the 3rd president or the 4th president. I thought he was the 4th. But there's like up to 5. Okay, well there's only 1 there now. This one apparently has 14. I don't understand. Oh, it would be Lauren Rafferty? Duh. Maybe. Out of print. Re-releases X marks the spot. Under her other name? According to the back of the book, this is a buried treasure by Lauren Roottrees from the author of the Court series. It also says, keep an eye out for Lauren Roottrees' next book, Revisiting the Diary 10 years later. Oh. Oh my gosh, we're printing Scandal. This was a version of Lauren Roottrees' diary released in 1975. Unlike the original diary, it contains no pictures, but has many new passages that reflect on her thoughts 10 years later. One major event happened between releases that changed Lauren's outlook on certain subjects, the death of Elias. A summary of the fallout has been added to your notes. Okay. Where? Oh, this. Revisiting the diary. A new diary opens with an explosive incident that happened in the decade between the release and re-release of Lauren's diary. Elias Roottrees had died, and during the reading of his will, there was an audible gasp when a certain name was read aloud. Samantha Roottrees. Sam! Samantha! Yay! Maybe it is that weird-looking girl. Although Sam and her children were not meant to receive monetary inheritance, he had a stipulation that she retain the rights to run the farm and any and all decisions related to it. It was then that the scandalous secrets came out. None of the 5 pieces were surprised, but it was quite a shock to everyone else, including Sam. She had been told her parents died. Apparently, Sam was the illegitimate daughter of Elias Jr. and Patricia Christensen. Oh. Top secret. Wait, is the lady that's talking to us Samantha? So how does that... Are you Samantha? No, because you're illegitimate. So are you... Oh, okay, I see. So, like, you were married to here, but y'all had a kid together. That was Samantha. Right? Samantha Roottrees. Maybe. Although Sam and her children were not meant to receive. So then maybe this is Patricia Christensen? Because, like, this looks like... That's what that makes me think. Like, yeah, you were her kid, but, like, you're linked to this other person. I don't know. That's an assumption. Patricia, the daughter of a local steel mogul, and Eli Jr. harbored a secret romance at age 16. She became pregnant, and after the birth, her father refused to let her see Eli Jr. ever again. Her baby, Samantha, was sent to the Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Patricia was married off to a much older man and sent away. That was the end of that, almost. None of the next gens had ever met or heard of Patricia until she unexpectedly reappeared, now going by Patsy. After Patsy's husband died, she reunited with Eli Jr. and they finally married in their 50s. So wait, are you married? Are you Patricia Christensen? Because you were married. Lauren mentioned the wedding in her first diary without knowing Patsy's history. That's right, there was a wedding mentioned. Eli Jr. had never taken another lover. Lauren, ever the romantic, quite appreciated this. Okay, so you guys were married. So then what's this have to do with it? I don't know. Okay. When Patsy and Eli Jr. finally married, Elias decided Sam should have been a Rootree in the first place, even though she was not part of the clan's trust. He wanted to include her in family affairs. That was what led to Lauren's initial entry entitled Sam. This is a page of additional notes and context from 1975. Clearly about Sam. Clearly, I did not know our true family history when I wrote this. I didn't even know Sam was a Rootree. All my doubts were ill-founded. She's a fine woman. Had she had the chance to grow up with us, Sam might have been the sister figure Gwen never was. So yeah, she's the same age. Okay, we're on the right track. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. Wait, Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her. Ernie? Ernie? We're getting another M situation? Madsen? Wait, who else is Madsen? You're Morden. Oh my god, there's too many names that are similar. Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. So that's, if you were a kid, that makes sense. That makes sense, because you're like a kid. Okay. It has been a long, long time since any real Rootree was as excited and interested in the actual candy as Ernie. As a bonus, Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted. So it's Gwyneth and Ernie Jr. are the kids. Madsen. Okay, I don't know if that's the right order though. I don't know if that's the right order. I don't know who's older, but we'll put them there. What I'm most ashamed of is not figuring out all this myself. Sam's a spitting image of Patsy with her jet black hair and green eyes. Yeah. So we picked the right one. She doesn't have the thick glasses Patsy did, of course, but I guess that skips a generation. Her children have that covered. Thick glasses, black hair, and green eyes. Okay, keep that in your mind. Black hair, glasses. It's hard to explain the look on Pop's face when they read that the farm's operations would pass to Samantha Rootree for as long as she was willing. I got flashbacks to when Zach was made president. Mother reframed it a bit to calm him down. Sam wouldn't receive any candy money after all, and was essentially inheriting the right to rule over the peasants for eternity. Pop warned us away from that farm for years. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor, and I suspect that's why he kept us from there. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. Ooh, la la. I don't know, there's no one above her though. I'm not sure Sam will ever forgive Uncle Jr. That's the second time. Who's Uncle Jr.? I don't know. Or Patsy for abandoning her to that life. If I were her, I might never forgive them either. But even so, she seems to blame more than just the two of them. She has no problem with the next gens, but she has a palpable hatred for the five pieces. So what would she be? Like, farmer? What's her occupation? Farmer. That's not right. But she like owns the farm. I don't know what we would give her occupation as. This is about Clark. Reading this back, I get deja vu. As I write this addendum, Clark's gotten married again. No Rootree has ever remarried. Sure, I lost Jacob and Gwen divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. What? Bill? Who's Wild Bill? Maybe it's William. Wild Bill. Okay. All right, well, hold on. Back to the thing. But neither of us took a second husband. Wait, what if we looked up Wild Bill? Maybe we'll get his real name. No. Okay. With the way the world is moving, I guess it was inevitable someone in the family would remarry. I just wish it wasn't my son. I can only wonder if Clark's apparent disrespect for marriage is due to the lack of a real father. I did what I could, and Lord knows Eli C. stepped up and helped. More than I can say for Clancy or Edward. Eli C. practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers whenever he could. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock, pun intended. Okay. I suspect he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out of the band. Oh. The brown-haired girl? Jane LaRue, we finally have the brown-haired girl from the thing. Hold on. You. And they got divorced also. He's married 3 times. And they had a kid. Is there another Rafferty? Rafferty LaRue. There's a couple of Rafferty LaRues. Jessica and Katrina. Oh, you know what? Maybe those are... But why would you have your name? You got married to someone else. Maybe Chris Rafferty? If you're reading my diary and confused, you're not alone. Even the government had problems. I remember once receiving certified mail for Edward Clancy Roottrees. I had to break the news they got my father's name backwards. We already figured out who your father was. Apparently this is the first thing she could find she ever wrote. She knows it was for a school assignment about anger, and she believes based on the teacher's name, she must have been in 3rd grade. She doesn't exactly remember the events spelled out here, but does remember getting in trouble. I got angry when I met a new girl who I do not like. She was dirty and did not have a pretty dress. Me and Pop walked home in town and she hugged him. When I told her he was my Pop, she pushed me. I got angry and yelled at her, and Pop said to treat her nice. Then she said, "Your Pop is my dad." She screamed it loud in my ear. She was lying to me, and lying is not a nice thing. So I pushed her too. Then I got in trouble. Then Pop took her away. He told me, "Don't worry, I'm glad she's gone." Secret child. Okay, so we have to find out who this like Wild Bill actor guy is. Do we have like a movie thing? We don't have a movie thing. Maybe it was in her old... Yeah, after her divorce. She shouldn't have been named Roottrees. We don't know what her dad's name was. Her father took her mother's famous name. Guys Like Us is a 1953 film in which 2 secretaries cut their hair short and pose as businessmen. Ooh, Harrison Lane. Is that who she got divorced from? Harrison Lane was a television actor with a major role in Guys Like Us and some other films. His largest role before Guys Like Us was a villain in the season of Western Frontiers. Due to the popularity of Guys Like Us, the studio brought Lane back to play the villain's twin brother. Western Frontiers has no connection to the Roottrees. Harrison Lane seems to be a dead end. Harrison Lane married his high school sweetheart after they reunited at a movie premiere. All right, what about Leslie Florence? Gwen Roottrees co-star. She's not special. Okay. What about Christmas Mission? Is on a page called Flops. It was a war movie. The movie had been marketed as an incredible true story. Okay, so not really anything good there. We still don't know who this Wild Bill character is. And we still don't know her brothers, like who her brothers were. Okay, so where do we think the firstborn son is? Who do we think the firstborn son is? Also, who is this guy? Is that the... Do you think that's... We have an alternate picture. Do you think that's him? Because he's like... Has an old man beard? I don't know. We won't know. You're obviously the youngest. I mean... Oh, wait. Who has... Sorry. Sam's kids have glasses. Wait, we missed that whole thing. Hold on. You're the only person with glasses in this entire picture. Well, that's not useful. Okay, well, maybe we don't have that photo yet. Okay, so I thought that maybe he was the oldest just because he had glasses. And we know you're a junior. I mean, he looks like he could be old too. He looks more like his dad than the other guy. But then that's saying that he is the dad of Carl. And he is the dad of James. Do we feel like that's... face-wise, I think that works out. Look at that nose. And he has darker hair, and he has darker hair. We don't know what her brothers did, do we? How does this still have so many clues? You read that already. We didn't search all of the... Okay. The albums. Okay. I don't understand how this has so many clues. What about Peter Jankowitz? He's mentioned a couple times. He's a music critic. Okay. Did we look up Diamond LaRue separately? Same search result. Okay. I mean, visually, I think that looks pretty solid that they would be related, but I don't know. Where's her brothers? Oh, Uncle Junior. He's Uncle Junior. I see, I see. Who's John? Do we need to know who that is? I need her brothers. Where's her brothers? He looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. Eli looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. Eli looks a lot like Pop did in the old one. So yeah, okay. So I think we got that right. He looks a lot like Pop. Okay, so I think that's correct. I still don't know what her other brothers' names are, though. Do we know what her other brothers' names are? Did that get put anywhere? Oh, there's just too many names going around. Eli C. Eli C. practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers. Jim, Clark. Oh, because they were in the music together. Okay. So then you're probably Eli C. Roottrees. More than I can say for Clancy or Edward. Okay. Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock. Oh, because of rock music? Rock music, I get that. Okay. Yeah. We searched those things. Watchman of the Year. Oh, Business Watch magazine is a magazine focused on companies, CEOs, and the economy. They've been around for over 100 years in one form or another, and will often write about major changes in management at famous companies. Every year, they offer an award to a prominent businessman who is further the field. They call this Watchman of the Year. You find through a few searches that 2 Roottrees have been featured as Watchman of the Year, Elias Rootree and Carl. Business Watch does not host any online archives on any site you can find, although you may be able to find individual articles through your periodical search. Business Watch magazine. Carl Roottrees was voted Watchman of the Year for his work with Root. Elias was awarded in 1936. All right. Okay, so we have a new... That's Carl. That's his alternate photo. He looks exactly the same. I haven't verified him yet. Ugh. Carl Roottrees was voted Watchman of the Year in 1987, and a photo of him appears on the cover. According to the cover, Business Watch is the magazine for and about corporate leaders. Carl was chosen not for his work at the Roottrees Candy, but rather a clothing company. So he's not the president of the Candy. He's CEO of the... Before they married, Carl's wife Brenda was a fashion consultant. Do we know that? We don't need to know that. When Raina was born, Brenda retired to become a stay-at-home mother. Looking for a creative outlet, she spent any free time she had at the sewing machine. Raina's new clothes were a hit with other parents, including Carl's cousin Jim Roottrees, a notable singer who had a young daughter around the same age as Raina. Word spread. You have a young daughter? Kim LaRue? Possibly. In 1982, Brenda's patterns were being copied by other brands. Seeing the demand, Carl and his second cousin Ernie Jr., who had just become president of Roottrees at the time. Oh. So we not put you as president? Ernie Jr. was president. Were you the third president? Or no, you would have been the second president. Oh, that's right, because you were all up with Zach. You were all up with Zach. But that might not be the right order. Other blood relatives who have a say in the company's finances refused to fund anything other than candy, so Carl personally spent his entire inheritance to bankroll the clothing company. When the profits began to appear, however, the rest of the family changed their tune. They repaid his investment, and now Root exists under the umbrella of the candy company. Per tradition and perhaps superstition, new clothes always debuted the way the first ones did. Raina became the cover model. As she grew, her product line expanded to older kids as well. Her younger sisters then recruited to show off her baby clothes. All right, so that's his other photo. That's not the weird old man in the background is not that. Elias Roottrees was voted Watchman of the Year by Business Watch in 1936, and a painting of him appears on the cover. The magazine said he was voted Watchman of the Year specifically to recognize the global rollout of 5 pieces. Elias from Roottrees Candy Company. Elias had a daughter, the first of 5 children. Yep, Elias invents 5 pieces. We know that. Pittsburgh, New England. We know this. We know this. Elias Roottrees architecture firm. We know that. And Clancy Trust. Okay, we know all that. Why is there still one thing here? Oh, Carl, because we haven't locked in Carl yet. That's shameful. We haven't even looked at the death of Carl. Carl died in the recent plane crash. He was the president of Roottrees. Okay, so he was the president, but he would have been the 3rd president. Roottrees sisters. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay. Because if he was... Well, they're the same age, so how's that work? So maybe he's the second, and he's the third? He took over after Carl? Okay, someone's not right because we have a bunch of... So something's not right. What if we take this away and put him here? Okay, well, this is obviously not correct because I think when you get 3 of them, you get it right. Oh, this is a book. Caroline Morden. Mostly black and white pictures of Caroline's art. The centerpiece is a series of full-color nude self-portraits at different ages, stretching from 25 to 30. They certainly have not been added to your evidence. The intro, Caroline talks about influences. She was one of the youngest in her generation, and in her late teens, she felt betrayed when her sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie gave up on dreams to settle for boring men. She especially dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson. So Sister Gwendolyn. And cousin Bonnie, we don't know where cousin Bonnie might be. She especially dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson. We don't know. Who she calls completely bogus. Their marriages led her to double down on her passions, art, and the environment. She even married a man who was the opposite of boring, which was an overcorrection. Oh, I thought she married a woman. She comes out strongly against the Roottrees company's effect on the local environment and rues on how she was not able to convince her father, Zach, to make changes to policy. We get that right? Yeah, we got that all right. That's all right. She also explained that her marriage to Mark led to the most volatile moments in her life, all negative, and the only good thing he gave her was a daughter. Oh yeah, no, we knew that. Mark, sorry. This person. We don't know. Leaving them all behind for good has pursued her to pursue her true loves, art and the beauty of women. We don't know who. Dr. Wilson. Can we look at him? Dr. Steven Wilson? Okay. Is a pediatrician who practices north of Pittsburgh. Although there are a lot of Steven Wilsons and Dr. Wilsons, this one apparently found a way to game the search results as he pops up top every time. His website claims he's a pediatrician to the stars. The only evidence for this, that he apparently was the doctor to the Roottrees sisters. There's a picture of him on his website, as well as a picture of his 3 children. The 3 of them look as though the photographer was holding them hostage. There is also a quote, although credited to his child Jason, you suspect might not be written by a 10-year-old. My dad is the best dad in the entire world, and he treats every patient with world-class care. He will treat your children like he would me, my big brother, or my sister. So Jason's the middle child. Okay. Let's go look at this. Dr. Steven Wilson. Boom. Boom. So you are... So funny. And then... Well, that's pretty easy. My big brother or my sister. Oh, well, you might be the youngest then. Sorry. You're obviously the oldest, I think. You're the kid. You're probably... Do you think she's like the older daughter? Like, well, I'm older than all of you, and I'm at my brother's graduation 2 years ago, 1996. You're probably Zach. You're probably Jem. You're let's see, you're probably a college student. You look like you're back from college. You're probably a kid. Okay, obviously I'm not getting any of these correct. Because aren't you supposed to get, when you get 3 at a time? Maybe it's backwards then. Maybe Gem is second. There we go. Who did I get? Okay, Elias M., Jem Wilson, and Jason Wilson. We also got the mom, Jane, Patricia, Ernest, Steven Wilson, the other picture. Oh, we did guess right. We guessed right on all the other pictures. Yay, booyah. Diamonds Dazzlers? Oh, okay. It's the name of the official fan club for Jim and Diamond. You find a forum post called Cool Things You Got in the Mail on a random forum about video games. One reply mentions Jim and Diamond still send out a Christmas card every year. It's accompanied by some pictures as well as a history of the fan club. Apparently, even though it is no longer available to join, Jim and Diamond still honor it themselves personally. There's a fierce debate in the subsequent post about whether it's cool or pathetic. Amongst the pictures of the Christmas cards, only one is relevant, the card from 1996, including pictures of Jim and Diamond's young son, Wolf, as well as a note about his daughter's band, the Floozies. We got a wolf. So maybe your name's not Kim LaRue. Hello, hello. My gosh, we're struggling. You found a picture of a Christmas card from Jim and Diamond. Yeah, Wolf. Okay, so we know who that is. He's obviously a kid. But we don't know which one he is. But I'm gonna go ahead and say he's a kid. Where was the other thing that I found? As well as a note about his daughter's band, the Floozies. The Floozies is an all-female punk band operating out of New York City. They're mentioned in passing in an online review from earlier this year. Apparently, they were opening act for the band the reviewer actually came to see. The reviewer writes that she normally doesn't review the opening act, but this one was unusual, and not because of the music, which she described as loud, fast, and repetitive, but not in a good way. The trio was extremely cagey about their identities. The reviewer asked the venue who they were. She was told they were rumored to be the children of another famous musicians and didn't want that to be why they became popular. The reviewer also mentioned that for an underground and unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was extremely expensive, and not only were they selling CDs, but they only cost $1. They're probably losing a fortune. The reviewer said although she bought a copy, she would unlikely ever listen to any of it again, except maybe Beef Baby, the 7th track. There is no picture of the Floozies performing live, but the cover from the CD they were selling, Conquistador, has been added to your evidence. Well, I'm gonna assume that's the daughter. And she's Candy. That's Candy? That's Candy. She's definitely older. Well done. We got the kids. We're getting the kids locked in. Candy, Wolf, and Zach Wilson. And we didn't get anything else. Okay. Does that mean this is not correct? I have these backwards then, is what this means. I had those backwards. Okay. We have the kids, like a lot of the kids figured out, which is pretty good. Oh, there's a magazine, Teen Blast. Teen Blast has played host to many Roottrees advertisements over the years for many of their products. One of them was already in your evidence. Oh, what was the other one called? Like Fancy or whatever? There was one that talks about the caviar one, but I can't remember what it was called. It's called like Fancy something. We just put in Fancy? No. When we look for their clothing company, Teen Blast has a lot of advertisements for Root. Some of them mention Brenda, but more often than not, the daughters are mentioned. You find a small bit of an ad from many years ago that says, be sure to look out for our upcoming article about Raina's inspirations. Raina was on the cover of Teen Blast when she was 16 and did an interview. There she is. Wow. Do we have an alternate photo of her on the board? She's the only one with an alternate photo. There's an article about Raina Roottrees from 1994. He also mentions TMS and Brother Trouble. I don't know what that means. TMS. What's he up to? I don't know. Who is that? TMS is a common abbreviation for early 90s teen heartthrob Tommy Mark Sheridan. His first credited role as Thomas Sheridan was on a soap opera called Time Marches Onward. He skyrocketed to popularity after his starring role on the sitcom Brother Trouble. Since the end of Brother Trouble, he has often been on the cover of tabloids for his supposed drug use, and more recently his relationship with Raina Roottrees. After a short engagement, they married in 1997 when he was 19. She was 19 and he was 23. We knew that already, though, from something else. In an interview, Raina talks about her inspirations. One important thing I learned from an early age is that dreams are not outside of our grasp. My grandpa was a college professor. My grandpa was a college professor. Thank you. Awesome. Who taught lectures about history. He always told me that history was full of people from famous families who wasted their time and fortune by taking it for granted. Instead, he told me I should go out and use my name to accomplish something. I think he may have practiced that lecture a lot because I have had other people in my family that have also made the Roottrees name famous for things besides candy. His older sister even wrote a book that some of my friends tell me they had to read in school. Yes. I know, we know that. I took his advice and now I work with my mom designing clothing. I help decide what colors and patterns I want to model. She designs the clothes with a team of amazing men and women. Although my grandpa passed away earlier this year, Grandma Laura tells me he was really proud. Grandma Laura? Laura Carlson? Cool. I feel like we're locking stuff in. Cool. Yeah, why is there like 7 things? I don't know what else we get out of this, you know? How does this have like the most? That's what I don't understand. How does this have the most? Do we just search for her? We saw that already. We saw all this already. What else can we look for in Teen Blast? Oh, can we look for her deadbeat husband? Tommy Mark Sheridan appeared on the cover of Teen Blast a record 38 times, including 3 back-to-back months during the height of Brother Trouble. In the issues he wasn't on the cover, he was still mentioned quite often. You read every word of every article, and besides the fact he was married to Raina, only one thing seems relevant. A gossip section from 1996, about 8 months before their marriage, is called, "Is TMS dating a Roottrees?" It says, at a recent autograph signing, TMS told a Teen Blast reporter he met a girl at a party in Malibu. Apparently, the cast of Brother Trouble gets together at Penelope's house once a year. Who's Penelope? And this time, TMS found love. The mega hottie had this to say. "She's incredible. She came to the party to meet me specifically, and I'm glad she did. She said she had a crush on me when she was younger. I told her I have a crush on her from her posters now." Way to play it safe, guy. Way to play it safe. When our Teen Blast reporter asked who the lucky girl was, TMS refused to spill, but we did some digging. One of the creators of Brother Trouble, Ron, married Penelope, who played TMS's mom on the show. And get this, Ron is a distant relative of the Roottrees sisters? He is? Who's Ron? I don't know. Who's Penelope? Ron is a distant relative. Ronald Roottrees. Yeah, there's a Ronald Roottrees. A distant relative. Does that mean he's like... Does that mean he's like over here on this side? It might mean he's over here on this side. This is the Madsden Morden side. This is the Roottrees. And then this is also the Roottrees. So he's probably over here. Where? I do not know. I don't understand why they just like say Penelope and then we can't find her. Malibu? One of the creators of Brother Trouble, Ron, who plays his mom on the show. Oh wait, we can just look up Ron Roottrees. That's his name. Can we look him up? No? Ron Roottrees is a small screen director, the head of RR Productions. RR! RR was the person that tried to have somebody kicked out of the thing because he said he was born out of wedlock and therefore illegitimate. RR! He directed episodes of a few other shows before showrunning and creating a one-season hit, Brother Trouble. The show was canceled partway through season 2. So he's a Roottrees. So he's on this side. You know what? His mom's an actor. He's probably one of these guys. Can you be Penelope? Tessa Green? Could you be Ronald Roottrees? Who would be a director? Wait, what did it say he was? Small screen director. Okay, maybe. And there's a picture of her, which makes sense if she was an actress. And they're also like, this picture's like them in Hollywood or whatever. Look at this photo. Or wait, they were in Paris, weren't they? They were in Paris. But he looks like, wait, what does this say? Film school. Oh, wow. So yeah, definitely that's Ronald. And he just looks older, and he was married to Tessa. Wait, so Tessa Green, Penelope Tessa Green. There was a Tessa Roottrees? You could be Robert. Jack, I don't know. Let me look at that. Here we go. Brother Trouble was a 1989 sitcom about 16-year-old brothers of the same age, one adopted, played by Tommy Mark Sheridan, and Dustin Christopher Baker. Their single mother, played by Penelope Tessa Green, often had to navigate her job as a magazine columnist as well as the troubles that come with raising two boys who were extremely competitive. Blah, blah, blah. Showrunner was Ron Roottrees. The show had strong ratings, rocketing both Sheridan and Baker to instant stardom. It was canceled in 1991 due to a significant drop-off in ratings. Okay. Let's look at Penelope Tessa Green. Maybe we can get a photo of her. Penelope Tessa Green is a retired comedian. There's a result for the Laugh Lounge, a club in Reno that claims Penelope got her stand-up start and first did her famously raunchy breast milk cheese routine in the 80s before she was a TV star. The site claims she retired for the birth of her first child, but still makes yearly appearances at fundraisers doing more family-friendly material. You find a picture labeled Joko Lantern, as well as a different picture labeled Jack watching his mother's charity. So Jack Roottrees. $1994. Child. What is your occupation? Child. Probably. Baby. Wait, when was this taken? 1997. Finally, we get to use the baby. We're running out of Roottrees. We guessed the baby's name. The kids are proving pretty easy to lock in. I also got Laura Carlson, Penelope, and yes, we finally got the pictures correct. Booyah. Okay. We're getting the kids locked, which has been way easier because it's all more recent. But I think that's probably a good place to leave it because my brain is really working full time on this.